So good evening to our parents and welcome aboard. Welcome to our school, Bethune Elementary School of the Arts. Yes, thank you all so much for coming out. This is our Magnet Open House. This is the night we get to show off. Well, I kind of show us off all the time, but this is the night we get to talk about the Performing Arts program, what we do, and how it looks here at Bethune Elementary School. So thank you so much for coming out and allowing your babies, which are our babies, we share them, to participate in the various programs. We thank you so much, and I just want to introduce them one by one. Miss Macbeth, she's our magnet coordinator and dance teacher. And next to her is Miss Rodriguez. She is our Spanish senorita. Next we have Mr. Williams. And next we have, I tell you she's new, but you wouldn't even know it. She got in here and she owned this school. I tell you, Miss Ferguson. And we have Mr. Elkin, our Bushville arts teacher. And last but definitely not least, we have Mr. Higgs, our teacher. And he's not only the string teachers, I tell you, I always have him recording because that's the way we brand our school. And he goes everywhere recording for us and creating these videos and putting them on our website. And if you haven't checked out our website, please do so. And we're going to start with our band director, Mr. Williams.
All right, good evening, parents. And students. Listen, I am very excited to be here and I'm excited to present for you all. So if you just give me a couple of minutes, I won't be before you long. I have 3 students with me that are going to show you some things that we learned. But I wanted to talk about our band program. If you have children kindergarten through 2nd grade, you'll hear that they have the opportunity to go to every performing arts we have. Kindergarten through 2nd grade during a week's time or for a week have the opportunity to go to band for a week, then they may go to dance for the next week. So they get the opportunity to experience all of our performing arts, our Spanish arts, everybody. By the time your child gets in 3rd grade, your child and you get to choose where they would be for that year. It's kind of like choosing a major. If your child, by the time they get to 3rd grade, chooses band, this is their introduction to our instruments, to learning to read music. We teach musical theory, the fundamentals of each instrument. 3rd grade is the year where they learn different instruments. This is not necessarily their performing year, but they learn different instruments, how to hold the instruments, the notes on the instruments. Kindergarten through 2nd grade, we have the opportunity to sing a little bit, to dance a little bit, to watch some musicals, learn some information about the music world. 3rd grade is our introduction to our instruments, learning the basics of how to hold, how to make a sound on our instruments, how to assemble our instruments. 4th and 5th grade gets a bit more rigorous. These are the guys, the young ladies and the gentlemen that perform with us, that travel to different shows. As a matter of fact, last year we won some gold medals at different competitions. We took our students to our MPA, which is our Music Performance Assessment, and they were rated with top scores. All of our 5th grade students last year were accepted on the spot into Parkway Middle School of the Arts. Our band program is not only going with me, but we're doing phenomenal things learning the concept of our instruments. So what I'm going to do for the rest of our time, we're going to have, I have two, what grade are you in? So I have 2 5th graders and one 4th grader on clarinet. By the way, the instruments that we have in band, we have our first student this year that's on piano in 3rd grade, but we have clarinet, trumpet, saxophone, we have percussion, snare drum, bass drum, cymbals. We also have some trombone, euphonium. But we have 3 clarinet players tonight that's going to play one song for you, Dragonfire. It's fairly new, so this is still a learning process, but We're not trying to show you anything perfect. We're showing you the process of our class. So why don't you put your hands together for our students, Chrisdale, who's going to take your seat. And the tape, just right. Can you see? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. Let's give it up for these students. I would like to mention that Latay and Zariah are brand new to band. This is their first, so they've only been in band for about, for real, 5 months. You know, because we started in the middle of August. We have 2 weeks off in December, so for about 5 months, not only have they learned their instrument, but they've learned how to read music. This is a task that you have to juggle a lot. And they've done, Chrisdale has been a part of band for a number of years, since 3rd grade. So he's a veteran in this. But Zariah and Latay have been in band since this year. So let's give it up for them again. It is very impressive, and it is a lot of hard work. So, as I wrap this up, I would love to have your students. It is not easy. None of our crafts are easy. It takes a lot of hard work, and I was just telling another parent before this started that it takes hard work and focus. Right? It takes a lot of hard work and focus. But again, my name is Mr. Williams, and this is just a very, very, very small snippet of what your child can get from our band program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Chrisdale said he would like to say something.
Sure.
When you get close to the end of the year and about to be a show, Mr. Williams get cuckoo.
So let me clean that up.
You sure?
So most of you may know that we do have an end of the year show, and we perform at Brown Center Performing Arts. It is a very big show. We are training our students to be performers. And that's what happens. It gets serious once you get on stage, once it's time for us to perform. And Mr. Williams does get cuckoo sometimes. Because we take our craft, and I'm happy you said cuckoo, not another word. So we take our craft very, very serious. Thank you, Chrisdale.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, and thank you to our 3 students over there. You all did a wonderful job. And I have to say, our students show up and do well every time at the end of the year show. So they do a wonderful job. Next, we'll have Miss Macbeth with dance.
Unlike Mr. Williams, I have a deep voice again. Before I even talk about the dance program, I'm going to put my magnet coordinator's hat on. As you see on the program, the magnet application window is open now and it closes February 5th. So if you have any neighbors, friends who may be interested in our school, please go out there and brag about our school and tell them to please go into the Broward School Board site and sign up because the window will be closing on February 5th. Also, if you have any 5th graders and you have not done that yet and you're interested in going to a magnet school, please make sure you get on the site now because it's about to close soon. And I know that they are placing the students as we speak. Like Mr. Williams said, we do have an end of the year show coming up. And like Christelle said, yes, we all do. We get cuckoo. Actually, we started getting cuckoo when we came back from winter break. Parents, you will be 5th grade, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade parents, you will be receiving a letter to come to our contract meeting, because we will be giving out a contract for all the students that we would like to be in the play. Our play this year is Jungle Book, and again, it's at the Broward Performing Arts Center. I'm sure if you know about that, how we do that every year. And we do prepare our students to become professionals on a professional stage. So that's another reason why we go cuckoo. Let's see what else is to talk about. Part of our school, along with our magnet performing arts program, we also have a turnaround the arts program, where a lot of the students get the opportunity to get first dibs in the C's program. So when we send those letters home for you to sign to attend these trips, please sign them on time so we can get them back on time. So for the following year, then we will continue getting these free trips. If we wait for the last minute, sometimes we have to cancel the trips and then we cannot go the following year. So please look out for those letters. Matter of fact, there's a couple coming up. I know Black Violin is one, which is our turnaround arts adopted professional performer for our school. I think you see some pictures of them on there. Okay, now for dance. In dance, I teach K through 5. The grades K through 2, they get exposed to just having fun with dance. By the end of say around March, I started getting a little bit more serious with the 2nd graders, where they start to learn the basics of dances to see if they have rhythm and understand two-step, do a little 2 steps with them, so they can get an idea of what it is to do a structured style of dance. My grades 3, 4, and 5, they get exposed to ballet, tap, jazz, multicultural, and hip-hop is a treat, okay? Today you're going to see a little bit of how I teach my class, our warm-up primarily, and some of the things that we do across the floor. My 5th grade students, I prepared them for Parkway Middle. That's where they have to audition, and then from there they go to Dillard, hopefully. Okay? So I'm going to ask my students to come on up. Spread out. Okay, starting the first position parallel, our PA series, 5, 6, 7, and a plie on 1, 2, 3, 4, turn it out on 1, 2, 3, 4, time do on 1, 2, 3, 4, parallel 1, 2, 3, 4, bring it in on 1, 2, 3, 4, turn it out on 1. Passe balance, 2, 3, 4, open 5. 7. Other side, time beat, point, flex, point, brush, and then add, time beat. Day to day. Batman, passe, balance, hold, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, plie, 7, and 8. Hold it there. We want the second position. So we're going to do positions. It's very important that the students understand, know their leg positions in dance. So show me first position. Turn out. Time do the right leg to second position. Ronda join that same leg to fourth position. Take that leg to third position. Time do the back leg to second position. Second position. Ronda join to fourth position. Bring it to third position. Time do the same leg back to second position. And bring it to first. Relevant. He was ready for that. Good thing to take it down. Alright, so we're going across the floor. So we're going to start with what is our basic bipolar kicks. Okay? Ready? Ready, ladies? Okay. So third grade is going to do the basic, and then fourth grade is going to do the more advanced. Unfortunately, I don't have any fifth graders here today. Ready? We'll start with step. Okay, let's start with the right leg. 5, 6, 7, and step. That's no beat. Good, harmony. Good. There you go. 5, 6, 7, and step. Move back a little, girls. Move back some more. Now the more advanced. 5, 6, 7, and step. Up, step, up, step, up, step, up, step, up, step. Keep going, step, up, step, up. 5, 6, 7, and step. Now we're going to do some step passe. Ready? 5, 6, 7, and step passe. Keep going. 5, 6, 7, and step passe. And fourth grade, we're going to do step passe with a saute. So take me taking it up. 5, 6, 7, and step up. Ready and up. Good. So we're gonna do a little combination. So can I have my third grade out? You're gonna do your Lindy jazz 2 times. Step pull, jazz box, right pose. Ready? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. Back step, 1, 2, 3. Back step, pull, jazz box, right good pose. And take a bow. Ready? So they are going to do chasse, side, step, turn to the right, turn to the left, and strike a pose. Ready? 5, 6, 7, and chasse. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn, 2, 3, 4, turn, 2, 3, strike. Alright, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So now we have Spanish arts.
Señora Rodriguez, I'm the Spanish arts teacher, and what I do is I kind of do a little bit of everything. I was a classroom teacher at one point, so I work with the classroom teachers closely, and I'm a part of the performing arts team, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I do and how I do it. So I believe in the power of music and in the power of art, so I use a lot of música in my class. Oh, by the way, I need to make sure I say cuckoo in español is loco and loca. And it happens to me too, so. And so in that case, when that comes up, I'll say, well, boy words end in O, so that's how I teach the masculine. So boys say loco, but if you're a girl, it ends in A, so you say loca. So I make sure and teach them the difference.
So here's an example of how I use music, música. It's hard to hear. But this is just, I try to incorporate fun videos and música that's catchy, so maybe a lot of you hate me when they go home and they're singing this stuff and you're like, oh, stop. That's the idea.
I incorporate even sign language because, it's part of like the brain, using your body. We learn better by moving and doing, so I'll teach them sign language when I teach the familia, the family. So I'll talk about abuela, abuelo, mama, papa, tío, tía, and if somebody doesn't remember, I'll go, I look loca, I'm doing all this stuff, but the kids, they get it. So right now, for example, I taught how the poinsettia, which they see everywhere, is a winter flower during the seasons. And I also talk about science. They learned that the poinsettia is a photoperiodic plant, which I don't know if you know. It means that when the days are shorter, nights are longer, that's when they bloom. We learn all the scientific terms of the leaves and watch them, time lapse photography, so I'm bringing in science as I teach the word photoperiodic in Spanish. We talk about photo, what does it mean if you see it in English in a selection, because a lot of the words in the FSA in English, a lot of the words are in Spanish because they all come from Latin. So we talk about root words. Like for instance, this week I taught the color celeste. Celeste has to do with celestial. Where does that come from? The heavens, the skies, space. You see a word celestial, oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, but celeste is azul, it's blue, so sky blue. So I tie in the classroom, the testing, the root words, because that's what helps me, is learning root words. And Spanish is a great way to get that in. And then I followed it with an art project because that's me integrating. I did the stamping with the little guys, and I did a little bit, tearing paper for the older students.
So the fiesta is a big part of where we all collaborate as a team. Last year, if you were here, I'm sure you hopefully participated. So this is, for example, I taught the Puerto Rican rhythm with band students, string students, which is the bomba. So the bomba, they learned everything about the bomba, the band students made drums, and then the dancers actually performed a bomba dance. And you were here and you got to see it, was amazing, it was wonderful. So that's just one example of how we all collaborate. The fiesta, academic projects. For example, the kindergarten first graders, they did a cultural doll. So each class, each grade has a different country. And these are projects that the parents can work in, bringing, home, because you know how that is so much more impacting when you guys are part of the learning process. And then in the older students, they pick the project, a country, and those then are judged here. I give out prizes, and I do a lot of fundraising at Chuck E. Cheese. So all of this can come together. They all get medals, certificates. I get all the supplies, anything the performing arts needs. And then I bring the winning projects over to the competition, which is coming up in April. I also have cultural performances by professional artists. So one year I had a mariachi band. One year I had a Colombian dancer. And I'm also a professional flamenco dancer. So one year my company performed here as well. So we have a district competition coming up. And that's where the kids go. They do drama. They do plays. And last year, band was able to go, and they were medal winners, as well as the drama students that went. And one year, Mr. Hicks, I got to go, so we try to kind of bring it all in together. There's poster contests, so again, art comes into play. We collaborate along with Mr. Elkin, and I do projects in my class, and that's displayed. And here we have some more medal winners at the competition. For Black History, I did a whole project and integration on Basquiat, who is also, he's a mixed Latino and African mix, so it's not just, learning Spanish words, it's opening their world. And that's what it's about. It's not just, educating part of the student, but the whole child, which is what the arts does. Now the Jungle Book is coming up, so right now I'm teaching all the layers of the rainforest in Spanish. I'm going to be teaching all the animals in Spanish that have to do with Jungle Book, and I'm bringing in science. 5th grade is learning about the rainforest in their classroom, so this is a way to reinforce what they're learning and getting them ready for, those standardized tests also. So here's an example of the layers, and I want to thank you so much for your time, and you're a big part of this, so muchas gracias.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Rodriguez. And I can tell you, not only is she implementing Spanish throughout the kids, she make it fun and the kids love it. So thank you so much. Next, we will have strings, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you. When we perform today for you, we will be playing not facing you, we will be facing that wall, because that's where in my classroom the kids sit facing me, and they have a big projection screen that I write arrangements for them, and they scroll across and we play together with those. So you're going to see how they play. We're going to play a couple of songs for you. We're going to do a song that I wrote called The Power of Practice, about learning to play a stringed instrument. And then we're going to play something that, an arrangement that I put together from somebody else's song. It was a horn group called Coco, and we have a song that I wrote, a bucket drum part that I teach to the kindergarten, first and second graders. So the kids are going to put down their violins and show you the bucket drum part. Maybe some of them will decide to play their violin on that as well. Okay, so can I have my strings come up and just stand in a way that you can face the wall there? Thank you. You may have noticed on there was a violin 1 line, and a violin 2 line, and a cello line. I try to accommodate all the different playing abilities of the kids. The ones that need a little more challenge might play up in third position. Somebody just kind of getting started down in first position, and the very beginners will be playing a very basic pedal line like that, and they all do their vocals. Okay, now you know what? Before we do the bucket drum thing, I want to mention that we're very fortunate that Black Violin is a turnaround arts supporting artist for Bethune, and 6 of my students, I don't see any of them here tonight, but 6 of my students, the older students, will be playing on stage at the Broward Center with Black Violin in February. So we're gonna do a Black Violin song for you, if that's okay. You can play the hard line, play the hard line. If you better with the easy line, play the easy line. You ready? One, two, three, play. Thank you. Now, kids, if you want to play violin on Lucky Chops, play violin. If you want to get a bucket, come and get a bucket and some sticks. Okay, here we go.
at the elementary school level. Theater education for your children is designed to just promote social and emotional skills, cooperation, self-confidence. Some of the things that I go over with them a lot is working as an ensemble. When we do our different activities or we do our different scene works or we do different theater games, we always do it together as an ensemble, so that kind of helps with social skills in general. Theater, it gives your child a platform to tell their story, if not tell their story, to be able to put themselves outside the box and put their self in the shoes of someone else and be able to tell someone else's story. Some of the things that I do with the little ones, kindergarten through second grade, is we do a lot of pretend play, we do puppet work, we do a lot of fairy tales, we break them apart, and we add our own little twist to them, and we perform them. When their teacher comes and picks them up, we perform them for their teachers. Now in third, fourth, and fifth grade, we do a little more skill work, and we dissect our scenes a little more and break down and do character work. We do a lot of terminology, theater terminology. They learn the areas of the stage, upstage, downstage, center stage. They do, what I mean by character work is they take one character and some things that they have to know about that character before they're able to perform that character is they have to know that character's objective, what that character wants. They have to know that character's obstacles, what's in the way of what that character wants. They need to know the tactics, the strategy of how that character gets what they want. So that's just some of the things that we go over in theater with the older kids. I always tell them it's more than just getting on the stage and saying some lines or reading some lines off the paper. If you don't know anything about that character, when you get on stage and you perform that play, it's going to relate to the audience. The audience are going to look at you like, what are you doing? So that's something that I always tell them. Today they're just going to do a little warm-up for you. Before, at the top of our class, when everybody comes in, I always have them do a warm-up and a focus exercise. Throughout the day, a lot goes on, so when they come in, I need them to be present with me, not just physically, but mentally. So we always do a focus exercise and a warm-up. So they're just going to demonstrate one of our warm-ups and focus exercises that we do. And I have, 1, 2, 3, I have 4 students here today. I have Vanessa, Giovanni, Janelle, and Tyrone. The 3 girls are in 5th grade, and Tyrone is in the 4th grade. I need you guys to project, and I need you guys to feed off of my energy, okay? We're going to do 10, 5, 4, 3. Ready, set, spread out. Ready, set, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, something that I always tell them, if I'm giving them 100%, I need them to give me 100%. So this next warm-up, I'm going to do it with them, and they know I'll stop and we'll start over if I don't feel the energy. I said a hey, hey, you said hey, hey. I said a hey, hey, you said hey, hey. I said a shoulders, shoulders, you said shoulders, shoulders. I said a shoulders, shoulders, you said shoulders, shoulders. I said a hips, hips, you said hips, hips. I said a hips, hips, you said hips, hips. I said a knees, knees, you said knees, knees. I said a knees, knees, you said knees, knees. I said a feet, feet. 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 I said a body, 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 body. Good job. This next exercise is a focus exercise that I do with them just to make sure they're all together and they're all on one accord, working collectively as an ensemble. I just want you guys to walk around in this space. The first time we're going to do it the right way. The second time we're going to do it the opposite. Stop. Hands up. Knees. Clap. Jump. Clap. Jump. Clap. Jump.
knees. Walk around the space. We're gonna do it the opposite way. I need you guys to focus and concentrate. Stop. We're doing it the opposite.
Okay.
Go. Hands up. Knees. Clap. Hands up. Knees. Clap. Hands up. Knees. Clap. You have to tune out the other noises and focus on my voice. Hands up. Knees. Clap. Jump. 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 Hands up. Knees. Clap. Jump. Jump. Good job. Thank you, everybody. So I just want you guys to remember to come into our show. We will be doing the Jungle Book. You all are all welcome to come. I hope to see all your faces out. Thank you, guys.
Let's give her another round of applause, Ms. Ferguson. And of course, my lovely students. They did a wonderful job. And I can tell you, they're like that all the time. You walk in there, you can just feel the energy. So thank you so much, Ms. Ferguson and boys and girls. Next, last but definitely not least, we have Mr. Elkin, our visual arts teacher.
All right, so how y'all doing tonight? Good? I said, how y'all doing tonight? Good. All right, so I'm Mr. Elkin, I'm the visual arts teacher. We're not just a performing arts school, but we also do have visual arts. We did get actually $10,000 worth of kiln and clay donated to the school last year, which is great because a lot of schools don't have kilns. What a kiln is a kiln bakes clay. It bakes clay at thousands of degrees, so it makes it into basically professional clay. Not only that, hi, how you doing? So not only that, but if you guys actually come and take a tour of our school, you'll see that there's murals all around that the kids helped create, that we actually reached out to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and we got one of their students that unfortunately passed away. We got his family to come and work with our students and work with other students to make murals, to make memories, and to create inspirational figures. Now, in art, we use paint, we draw, we sculpt, we do everything. Not only that, but when it comes to the play, we actually build the entire set. We build the entire set, we build all the props, everything like that. We build that from scratch. So we're doing plywood, we're doing paint, we're doing sculpture, we're doing all of that stuff from scratch. We're making these professional sets for this professional play, just so that our performing arts program can be highlighted, can be in the scene, can be in the jungle, can be in the Willy Wonka factory. We do that all, and we make sure that everything works out well. Not only that, but we're also tech behind the scenes. We're the stagehands, we're the runners. We're making sure that all the stuff behind the scenes happens. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Aaliyah. Aaliyah's a 5th grader. And Sean is a 4th grader. So today what they're going to be doing is I'm going to be giving them instructions. They're going to be drawing something for you that's going to be first. It's going to be actually a surprise as to what they're going to be drawing, and I want you to try to figure it out. All right? All right, so you grab that one, John. You grab your charcoal. Grab your charcoal. Got it? Awesome. Ready? All right, so Sean's actually going to be drawing. I'm going to be holding it. Come over here. Is this good height for you? Awesome. All right, so we're going to start with a tree. And 2 lemons are going to fall off that tree. Then 2 olives are falling with the lemons. Now we're going to make some shadows for those lemons. Next, we're going to make the roots for the tree. After that, we're going to make a bird flying over the tree. Then after that, we're going to make a spaceship right over that bird. And it's a nice day out. We're going to make a big rainbow that goes all the way around. Then we're going to make some nice grass that goes around the bottom. And now we're going to make 2 pots of gold around the rainbow. There you go. Now flip it. All right, so that's not everything. If you guys put those back, then we're going to take out the clay. We're going to show a little bit of sculpting skills. Not only does art teach just art, it teaches creative problem solving, it teaches hand-eye coordination, it teaches design, it teaches a lot of things that you don't just use in art. Alright, so I'm going to hand you this. I'm going to hand you this. Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Alright, so I want to hear cow tongue. Next, I want a finger taco. Then I want a cup. Squeeze that cup. Then I want you to pitch. Then I want you to tear those petals. We have some wonderful wind chime sound effects. Then what we're going to do is we're going to rip off the bottom. Good job so far, guys. We're going to make that bottom into a snake. We're going to rip that snake in half and put those pistils inside. Good job, good job. And we're going to stick our pinky in. Awesome, awesome. We're going to stick the pinky in just a little further. Awesome. So just like that, what we've done is we've actually created a small orchid flower. Show them your orchid flowers. Good job, guys. Can we have a little round of applause for these guys? So, we have a bunch of wonderful visual and performing arts. These are all taught by professionals. We're all in the field. We're not just doing this. We're doing this because we care. And because we want to care. And that is a promise from all of us, I think, that if you send your student here, we will care. And we will try. Because we don't know how to do anything else. We only know how to try. And in my class, what do I tell you the most?
Try your best.
In my class, trying your best is the absolute most important thing. I don't like wasting time. We only got a certain amount of time on this world. We need to use that time to be our best. With whatever that comes to. If when I was a kid, I had a magnet school available to me, that would be amazing. That is such a great thing to have. Like I couldn't imagine being a little boy, a little girl, and being able to use a saxophone or being able to be taught ballet like every day going to school. When I was going to school, when I was a kid, I was like inside of books and inside classrooms watching a whiteboard. And maybe I was drawing, but I probably shouldn't have been drawing. It's such a great opportunity, and I encourage you guys to make sure that you take that opportunity. So, without further ado, I think we're all going to come up here. We're going to do a little Q&A.
Let's give all of our teachers a round of applause as they come up. Come on over here, guys. And I tell you, they each told you a little bit about their talents and what they do, but they were modest. We are doing some great things here at Bethune Elementary. I mean, we went to Washington, D.C. to perform at the Kennedy Center. Our kids perform at our annual Christmas principals meeting. Our kids are going out in the community. They're performing at the airport. They're performing at the winter. They're doing so many wonderful things. And I just, again, want to say thank you to these individuals standing up here, just making it happen. So we really hope that this is a chance you all get to ask any questions you want. But I definitely have to say, you truly see the kids come to life when they have something. We believe in the whole child. And when they have something they can hold on to, I tell you, I see kids that are shy on the stage. I see self-confidence boost. I see grades being raised. Like, they truly are balancing their talents and their academic. And when they're in their talent, it's almost like an out-of-body experience because they love what they do. So, this is your chance to ask any questions you have. And also for them, I guess, to say any other thing they have to say. So, any questions from our audience?
Because that means we did a good job, right?
I would like to say this. I appreciate Ms. Rodriguez. We had the opportunity to work with you. Ms. Macbeth, my daughter had the opportunity to work with you. And now Mr. Hicks, she has the opportunity to work with you. I'm Olivia Peters' mom. And I can honestly say, at her other school, it wasn't this active. And that was a charter school. In this school, I'm always here. I'm willing to do what mom has to do. I appreciate every last one of you guys. You guys keep the kids going. And I think that's the most important, is that they learn the craft that you guys have. Because I myself went to Parkway Middle School.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I was trying not to scream.
That's right.
And I did drama. So I see the kids learning so much from you guys, and I'm glad that it's here now in elementary school, because I had to wait for mine to junior high school. So I appreciate every last one of you and what you give back to the kids. And I love the school.
Thank you. Hey, we love you too. Thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions? Teachers, do you all have anything else to say?
For my second grade students, you will be getting a paper from me, a letter from me for you and your child to pick your performing arts class. You will get it around the end of April, and it will be due back the beginning of May. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. McBeth. And so just as we close out, parents, I hope to see all of you at our end of the year show. It is such a wonderful opportunity for our boys and girls, because we see like kids go to dance practice and dance schools on the outside of schools, and they do their annual recital somewhere, but never at the Performing Arts Center, right? That is an awesome opportunity. So please show up, guys, so we can represent our babies and show them that we support them and we love them, and they got this all the way. So thank you so much for coming out. Again, we love you. Be blessed, stay warm, and good night.